First of all, I'll say for the record, before we carry on, I hate this boy.
Blake, we have the most requested video thus far. I'm very excited about this one because, one, it's a Would I Lie to You clip, and two, it's a James Acaster clip.
Yes.
We're going to be having a look at a segment called This Is My. The general premise for This Is My is that a person will come out from backstage and the three people on one team will all try to explain how they know this person. One person's telling the truth, two people are telling a lie. This is my Mick. All I know is it's got something to do with James Acaster, something to do with Mick, and a few people have said something to do with a cabbage. All right, James Acaster, This Is My on Would I Lie to You.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Mick.
Hello, Mick.
He's only a kid.
Yeah.
So, Gabby, what is Mick to you?
This is Mick, and I deliberately tripped him up during the wheelbarrow race at my son's sports day.
OK, James, how do you
Wouldn't put
know
it
Mick?
past her.
This is Mick.
So
and
deliberately?
6 months,
Deliberately,
he was
yeah.
my sworn enemy when a practical joke got out of hand.
And finally, Lee.
Yep.
This is Mick.
I believe it.
He's my son, and I'm only allowed to see him every second Friday.
God, I hope not. Such a douchey
Sorry,
father.
no, that's not it. This is Mick.
I love that he's been working with like Rob and David for like probably 10 years at this stage, and he's trying to get away with saying, this is my son, like you've never ever met him before.
Yeah.
I once took him home from nursery instead of my own son.
Only slightly more
So there
believable.
we have it. Is Mick Gabby's cheated child, James's feuding friend, or Lee's traded toddler? David's team, where would you like to begin?
Well, Gabby, the wheelbarrow race, you were also a competitor. What was the format of the race, and how did the accident
Your
happen?
classic sports day wheelbarrow race. Child is the wheelbarrow. I was driving my son as a wheelbarrow, and Mick's mum, Barbara, was driving him. And there's always a lot, I feel our family gets a lot of pressure on sports day because my husband was an international rugby player and I did sport. And people always look at us as if they're the ones to beat. You know, I always feel that added dimension of competitiveness.
You were a rhythm gymnastic, weren't you?
I was a gymnast.
Yeah, I think they're looking more at him. Carry on.
So we were in the lead, my son and I. And you know, like in your peripheral vision, you can feel somebody coming. And as we got to the turn, they were level with us, and my son's arm buckled, and which is for a wheelbarrow race is a bit of a no-no. So it takes you a couple of seconds to recover. So now we're behind.
Quite painful for your son as well. Perhaps that should be the main concern.
Six sports person. Oh, this is
That's a no-no! We need this!
Can I say that, like, very few people improve their looks that much with a beard? Seeing that clip the other day of David without a beard, wow, is it a vast improvement, and he should never get rid of it.
No.
And I'm ashamed, obviously, about what happened next. So I can feel, you know, these horrible thoughts coming into my mind. You know, we could take him out. You know, we could.
What a savage woman!
Come on, this is why we've been taking all the drugs.
And I stood on, I stood on his hand. And so I know.
Deliberately?
You were thinking
You don't
we
want
should
this story
take
to
him
be
out.
true.
So he then slightly buckled. So
Which
then,
is a no-no.
Which he got himself back into the race,
Yeah.
and I decided that I couldn't let us win because that could be construed in some people's eyes as cheating. Standing on the opposition's hands.
in some people's eyes, physical assault.
So I had to then sabotage us because I couldn't let us win. So I deliberately kind of pushed my son into the ground.
So you assaulted two children.
I kind of just, you know, pretended to trip onto Reuben. So,
Right.
and then his arms buckled, double buckle, which is a no.
No.
And that meant...
Reuben is your boy.
Yes, oh gosh, yes, yes, yeah.
You know, the one with, the one with the face like that.
All right. Who would you like to speak to next?
Wait, what does she mean, like, their arms are buckling? Like, what is that when you're, like, bending?
No, what I'm picturing is, like, you know, if you're doing a wheelbarrow race, they're on their hands and you're holding their feet. Imagine just pushing them a little bit too fast, so they go straight over, like, face first into the ground.
How's that called buckling? It's just face planting.
Yeah, I know. I do not believe that story straight off the bat. For two main reasons. One, I think if you did do that, you'd never want to tell anyone publicly because you come across as a pretty terrible person. Yeah. And two, I think if you are the kind of person that's willing to do that in the first place, you wouldn't have a change of heart between doing it and the 10 seconds before the race ends to then cripple your own child as well as like a redemption story. So I'm going to say probably not.
Especially if they're professional sports people. So like they
exactly,
would know better.
Exactly. They would know better. Everyone's looking at them as well. They said like they're looked at as like the ones
That's
to beat.
True.
So all eyes are on you. And you just go and like stamp your foot on a child. Like, no, I don't think so. So, all right. Not too believable.
She's also too nice. Like, I can't believe that someone would do that. Like her.
Yeah, just with a big smile on her face and just laughingly telling this like hilarious story of her hurting two kids. You could even tell like every single person there is uncomfortable and trying to make a joke out of it because like surely this isn't actually true. All right, let's crack on.
James, so Mick became your sworn enemy because of a practical joke.
That got out of hand.
Yes. So what was the practical joke or prank?
First of all, I'll say for the record before we carry on, I hate this boy. Nothing but contempt for him, and I'm furious he's got on this show.
I think I feel I can only see him every second Friday.
So what was the practical joke?
Kid can't keep it together.
He put cabbage leaves in my bed.
How did he get in your room?
I was staying at his house.
That's so normal. How old is he?
A few years ago.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have been born.
He was 9.
And you were what, 31?
I was what, 28, 29?
And how do you know
Not
him?
far off.
I know his dad. He's his son.
And you were staying at their house.
Yes.
Why did he put cabbage leaves? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's not a thing until he started doing it.
Yeah.
There's something severely wrong with him. I don't know why he started.
But you say
pulling this kind of
started doing it. Was
yeah.
What do you mean start? This is a one occasion when you're staying there. Well,
this is the first of many, David. I said got out of hand. I do not use those words lightly.
So you regularly stay at the house of...
Oh, no. Oh. This little man does not restrict these pranks to his own house. He has no respect for anyone's privacy and will cross any boundaries available to him. I hate him with all my heart.
So he initially put cabbage leaves in the bed you were sleeping in when you were staying at his father's.
Yes.
Right? And then
So much disdain for this kid.
he has followed you and put cabbage leaves in other places you've been sleeping.
No.
OK? What then?
He sent me a cabbage in the post. He sent me half a cabbage, cling filmed, in a box. I was out when they delivered it. I had to go to the post office to pick it up. There was a note inside that said,
prank.
"You got cabbaged again."
What a great prank.
OK, so he's doing that. Did you, bearing in mind that this is a minor, did you at any...
It was a major as far as I'm concerned.
Did you at any point retaliate?
Yeah, but it took me 6 months.
What did you do?
After 6 months of this...
But you say 6 months of this.
Yeah.
What is this? There's the initial cabbage leaves in the bed at
Yeah.
his house,
Yeah.
and there's the posted half cabbage.
Yeah.
Anything else?
His granddad cabbage me to my face.
What does that mean?
Gave me a present. It was all wrapped up nice. I thought it was a nice present. I unwrapped it. It was another half a cabbage wrapped in cling film. Members of the public started cabbaging me. I made the mistake of talking about it on the radio, and then everyone got the idea, and I couldn't turn up to a gig without there being a cabbage hidden somewhere in my dressing room.
Well, thank God you're playing safe and not saying it on telly, eh?
So, did you retaliate?
Absolutely did. I removed all of his belongings from his bedroom and replaced them with cabbages.
That's, I would say, a disproportionate response.
6 months of my life, David. 6 months of my life of not knowing where the next cabbage was coming from. It was horrible. I had to go big. I've been cabbaged so many times. Somebody started a Twitter account, was tweeting pictures of cabbages on me every day. They said stuff like oi oi Savoy. It was horrible.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg. But come on, cut me some slack.
No. I would say that anyone who can enjoy that joke about a lettuce would have to be a sociopath.
All right, on to Lee.
Lee, remind us of your story.
This is Mick. I once took him home from nursery instead of my own son.
Pause for a second. Thoughts on that story?
Oh, the cabbage story. Like, that's
The cabbage
surely.
story?
I need to wait for this one. Surely that can't be real.
It's such a unique idea that, like, I don't know who comes up with that. Who cabbages someone? Like, is that a thing the kids do these days, or is this kid just a genius, an evil genius?
I think one of the guys before was about to try and get clarification on his granddad cabbaged him in the face. Like, what does that mean? What do you think it means? Like, how else do you interpret being cabbaged to the face?
That disdain towards that kid felt real.
That did seem
And
genuine.
It's either going to be, yeah, he told the kid earlier, like, I'm going to rip you apart in this segment for a bit of a laugh, or it's genuine disdain and he knows that kid.
Yeah, like, I think he just went too far with replacing everything in his bed, like, in his bedroom. Like, I don't know, that there's a lot of things in my bedroom. Like, I don't think somebody... Like, you've got a bed in there. How do you replace a bed? Like, some giant cabbage bed? Like, what do you mean?
Oh my God. Can you imagine just the entire floor is just covered in cabbages? Like, several layers high?
Oh, the other one. I don't use Twitter, but, like, if this is true, surely there's a lot of people who may know. Like, oh, yeah, that was the Twitter thing. I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, there could be a bunch of Acaster fans just watching this going, oh, this is 100% true. Like, I was a part of the cabbage revolution on Twitter. I went to his shows and there were cabbages at his shows.
Yeah, surely.
But you'd also think that, like, being around all these comedians that he probably works with all the time, like, they would all know about it as well. And it seems like it's news to all of them. So,
yes, good call.
yeah, so it could go either way. But let's see if, what's this one, Lee kidnapped the kid or something? So
Yeah.
we'll find out. We'll find out in this one, and we'll put it all together in the end. We'll put our detective hats on.
Yeah.
From nursery instead of my own son.
Why did you not recognise your own son by using your eyes and knowing what he looks like?
I do recognise my own son. But we had this new pram, and the pram... I put him in the pram. He was very young at the time, because, well, you have to go to nursery. And I put him in the pram.
At nursery?
No, not a pram, a
They're on a
pushchair.
pram when they're sort of tiny.
A pushchair, you made one mistake. You said lettuce, you said cabbage. You said pram instead of pushchair. I get to see him every other week. I'm stressed. I put him in the pushchair, and then I got chatting to all the other mums and
I don't know if I
dads
do. Like,
Got
he's
chatting,
funny in
turned
some
around, little
parts,
did
but he's just... He's like he's just a loose cannon. Like, I just don't know.
I love him. No, I love him so much. Like, there was a show back on when I was a kid. Like, this is probably close to 20 years ago, called The Sketch Show. It was an English show. If you guys have heard of the show before, please comment down below, because I'm the only one that remembers this show. I'm the only one that ever talks about it. But he was one of the 5 main sketch comedians in it and was just the standout. Like, they were all very funny, but he was young, a lot skinnier as well. But so unbelievably quick-witted, and you can see, like, even now, like, he has not lost any of his wit. He's so fast and sharp.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of his. But let's crack on.
I realised that one of the other parents had exactly the same pushchair, and because he was asleep, I just didn't bother talking to him because I thought he was asleep. Pushed him and got all the way home. Long walk as well, because he goes to school in London and we live in Aberdeen.
How long was it before you realised?
Probably Glasgow. It was about, believe it or not, preferably do.
Yeah, that's very much the question.
Believe it or not, it was as I went.
So
to the
you
front
love
door
geography.
and,
So I
pushed
don't know
him
how
towards my
the
wife, who was
distances of these, like Glasgow versus where he was. Like, I didn't get that one.
Hours and hours and hours. Like he's hours drive.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so like walking it is just
No.
it did not happen at all.
Okay.
So the one thing I'm not really buying about this is like when you leave anywhere, like you tap your jeans pockets for your phone and for your wallet just to confirm that they're there and you go. Like I don't necessarily believe that he would just like grab the pushchair and go without just peeking in. Though maybe he peeked in and just saw like the back of the kid's head, like if it was just turned to the side. So maybe went, oh yeah, kids all good and left. But I don't know. I don't have children, so I don't know what you do with them.
Yeah. It may also be a stereotype thing that you see in TV and movies, but you see a lot of parents of newborns like going through a lot of like sleep deprivation. So like a lot of mistakes could happen around that time, which is why I was sort of like maybe. But
very good point. But he did say like they're at like nursery, so I'm thinking the kid's like 3 or 4 at this stage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go.
That is not my son.
But the other mother would have recognised her
Yes.
child. So let's go to the
Let's
other
go
mother.
to the other mother.
What happened
Interesting.
there?
So, obviously, I'm not there to see the other mother.
No,
Because
but presumably in the police interview, they would have gone through those details.
No, I knew it would be a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, so I thought I'd better play safe and just keep him. And that's what we did. We just ended up bringing up another child.
I believe it now.
Into the house. My wife said, that's not my son. So I went, oh! I realised immediately what had happened, obviously. I turned round and I raced back to the school very quickly. So I got in just in time for them to go, what are you? And then...
So you got back just in time.
Got back in time.
Just before Mick's mother was going to start screaming,
So
my child has disappeared, my child has disappeared.
Yeah, because what had happened is she was getting a bit frantic, but someone had calmed her down by doing the obvious and pointing to the child and saying, use your logic here.
Yeah,
There's a
child abductors don't tend to leave
Swap,
a child as well.
So, David's team, is Mick Gabby's cheated child?
Maybe.
Nah.
James's feuding friend?
Maybe.
Or Lee's traded toddler?
No.
I don't know. By the end of it, I was sort of buying. I was like, yeah, because like that would only be a plausible story if it was for a short window of time where it was like not a huge thing. So it's like, oh, it's the weakest story, but it's also most plausible. But why is no? But why has he dismissed it so quickly?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, the start of Lee's story was very jokey, but like that back end, he did kind of seem very matter of fact about like, oh, this is what happened. And it kind of felt more believable towards the end.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that to say that I don't dismiss it as quickly as David just dismissed it then. Like, I think it's arguably more truthful than Gabby's story.
Yeah.
But I got to go with James on this one. Out of the 3, it felt like that was the right story.
All right. Well, so we have a different. I'll go with Lee Mack.
We'll find out. We'll find out what's going to happen. But you're going to go with Lee Mack. I'm going to go with James Acaster for this one.
Okay.
I think that the Cabbage that is a good trick because Cabbage when they get warmed up.
Oh, sorry, that's just an element I didn't even consider.
Yeah, neither did I.
It's not just giving him like a random cabbage. It's if he doesn't find a cabbage, it's filthy. It's disgusting. Oh man, I don't eat cabbages, but like I've occasionally found like a lettuce in a container in the crisper that's been in there a little bit too long, and it is foul.
Like especially if he said it was ongoing for 6 months too. So I'm envisioning he has to be there to know he's been cabbaged, but it could just be they've planted cabbages around his house, and that's the prank. Oh.
Yeah, just coming home to like just a smell that you'll never forget because for 6 months you've been dealing with it. You're like, it's happened again.
Yeah, and it's like a warm day outside.
Yeah, it's like a horrific Easter egg hunt where the prize is just finding the most disgusting thing ever. But the true prize is getting it out of the house so it can eventually air out again.
Yeah.
So, but I think if James made this story up, I think people are going to be doing it to him from now on.
Oh, absolutely. Stupid.
He put himself in some hot water there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and even if it doesn't just happen to him, I think this is going to become like a prank to do to people. Like you start cabbaging people in the schoolyard, putting it in people's lockers and stuff because it's a pretty funny idea. I do appreciate it.
Also have, been to many a sports day where the parents do get incredibly competitive. I would probably lean towards Gabby.
What about you, Melvin?
The other thing is like, I don't know about sports days there, but like sports days here, I don't know. Do parents go to sports days here? Are they a big part of the actual sports itself?
I think maybe in primary school.
Okay, I remember parents being at the sports day in primary school, and I can't remember them competing it, but that just might be a cultural thing. Maybe it's pretty common.
Yeah.
Which way are you leaning?
I believe Gabby, but James is just weird, so I believe him even more.
Your
Super
paranoid
leaning more.
view seems to be the whole country now.
The other thing I was going to say is I just noticed that the outfits that they're all wearing, this is the same episode as the James Acaster once spent the night in a bush episode, the one we did last
you're
week.
kidding me. No,
So this must be like one of the best old times episodes because it's two super classic moments that people have said you have to check out these ones. And they're both from the same episode. This show's been going for like 10 years.
Yeah, wow.
And sending you
Every time people laugh at me, I suspect they're my enemy, which makes my job very difficult.
You think Gabby, you think Gabby, but James even more.
David thinks it's me, so...
Oh, I don't know. James.
You're going for James. Mick, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Mick, and I am James's worst enemy.
Wow.
It's
What?
That makes sense why that kid was like trying not to laugh with James. They know each other.
James's feuding friend.
Do you reckon they
and
went to school
here's
together?
the proof that...
Oh, there it is.
What?
Okay, so he didn't remove everything from his bedroom, but he did put a hell of a lot of cabbages in there.
Even still, like...
Yeah, I kind of feel like as he probably like asked the dad for permission, but as he set it all up, I bet he dropped like one behind the bed deliberately to be like, even when we pack this all up when the joke's over and the photo's been taken, you're going to find one in a couple of days' time and you're going to be cabbaged.
That is what James did to Mick's bedroom. Thank you very much, Mick.
That's it. Wow, great story. That kid would be like the king of his school after that prank because it was a hilarious segment.
Yes.
And it was a great prank on a very, very popular comedian. So yeah, he'd be my hero if I was in his class.
Either that or he's also getting cabbaged.
Oh, of course, yeah, he'd also be getting cabbaged. His locker is going to be filled Monday morning with cabbages.
Yeah, you're getting cabbages in your locker with spray paint on the locker saying Cabbage Boy, Cabbage Patch Kid or something like that.
Cabbage Patch Kid, yeah, of course. Of course. No, that story, I think, it lived up to the hype. Thank you very much, guys, who suggested this particular video to check out. Really appreciate that. If there are other specific Would I Lie to You segments we should check out, please let us know in the comments section below, whether it's James Acaster or anyone else. If you guys didn't like that video and it's the first time here, then by all means, jump onto this playlist right here for a ever-growing list of Would I Lie to You segments that we are doing reactions to. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one.
Yes. See you guys.